but he wouldn't stop. Floyd was boxing him up. Yeah. So Floyd is just piecing him up. So Floyd, even at 46, he's the greatest of all time. He caught Floyd a couple times, some little shots, but mostly he's just getting boxed up, right?
Let me go.
Joe Rogan was left stunned after watching a sparring video where Floyd Mayweather humbled Terence Crawford just weeks before Crawford's fight with Canelo Alvarez. While sparring sessions aren't usually taken as definitive proof of ability, the footage was shocking, showing a 48-year-old Mayweather slipping Crawford's punches with ease and firing back sharp counter combinations. The display was so impressive that it caught Rogan off guard, especially since he had previously leaned toward Crawford in the GOAT debate.
So who do you like in Canelo versus Crawford?
Well, I'm a giant Crawford fan because I think he's the best switch hitter since Marvin Hagler.
I'm a giant Crawford fan because I called his coming out fight against Bradis Prescott and then various other stepping stones throughout his career.
I also think he's one of those guys that if you tell him he can't do something, he wants to show you and shock thousands.
Right after the fight, Joe Rogan had praised Terence Crawford as one of the greatest boxers of all time, even placing him above Floyd Mayweather and other legends of the sport. But after watching Crawford struggle against Mayweather in sparring despite Floyd having been retired for a decade, Rogan quickly changed his stance. "I'm honestly blown away. It's clear that Mayweather still stands alone as the best ever. No era can match him, and I have to admit, he's built from something entirely different."
Boxed up by literally the greatest boxer of all time. But he was holding on quite a bit and wouldn't let go and was trying to hold and clinch and hit, which is something right here, which is something you can do in MMA. So he's protecting himself from Floyd, but he's not letting go.
The video itself was clearly cut and edited, leaving plenty of room for doubt about what really happened outside those few highlighted seconds. This isn't new, just like the sparring footage Floyd Mayweather released last year of Gervonta Davis and Devin Haney. At first, the short clip made it seem like Davis was dominating, but once the full video surfaced, the narrative changed completely. That's why this latest release has stirred up more controversy, with many questioning Mayweather's decision to selectively edit and share only certain moments.
Hey, good look, man. There you go. You only do one. Good game. I'm great.
The sparring clip didn't just catch Joe Rogan's attention, it sent shockwaves through the boxing community. Fans worldwide were divided. Mayweather supporters mocked those who had compared him to Crawford, while Crawford's loyalists demanded the release of the full footage. "Floyd is so shady. Why cut the video? I'm sure Bud got the better of him and the rest. Bud's always shown him respect, but Floyd's just a bad person," one Crawford fan argued. On the other hand, a Mayweather supporter countered, "Floyd is the real GOAT. Even at his age, his reflexes and combinations are razor sharp. I'm confident the outcome would be the same if this were an actual fight."
Before the fight, the Crawford Canelo fight, and you had a Cavs hat on. This time you've got a GOAT hat on. Is that how you're feeling? I know it says Muhammad Ali, but is that how you're feeling about Bud's performance, about his whole career?
Yeah, I'm definitely feeling that way, man. GOAT. Greatest of all time, man. You gotta give it to him. You got to give it to him. You got to give it to his coaches. Not just me, Saul Red, Bernie, Chet, nutritionists. Everybody played a part.
Canelo said he's way better than Mayweather. What do you think to that?
Who, Terence?
Yeah.
Oh, of course.
When I looked at it, he came out in the southpaw stance and he took Canelo's jab away from him. As you know, if you take a fighter's jab away from him, then it's hard for them to really land. You force them to use one shot, and he forced them to use his backhand, his rear hand. Crawford was ready for the looping of the right hands.
Another fan remarked, "Floyd is on a completely different level from fighters of this generation or any other. His defense alone puts him above everyone. Crawford wouldn't be able to touch him, no matter how hard he tried." A fourth added, "I was convinced Crawford must have studied Floyd or B-Hop to fight the way he did, not taking anything from him. But he clearly followed a blueprint to get that win. Still, he showed his own brilliance by staying in the pocket when it mattered." And finally, one summed it up, Floyd versus Bud is the debate of the moment, but truthfully, every great gets compared to Floyd. From Ali to Pacquiao to Usyk to Crawford's the standard. That's why he'll always be the greatest.
If I take Floyd Mayweather in his absolute prime, and I take Manny Pacquiao in his absolute prime,
Floyd Mayweather.
Floyd still beats him.
Floyd beat everybody.
You don't believe there's a guy at 140, 147 in the history of boxing that could have beat Floyd in his prime?
It'd be tough. Floyd, man, that boy, that's the GOAT, man. That boy bad.
What makes it? Because I told people to say, look at Floyd. I said, Floyd, it's not that he trains. It's his life, and from the very beginning, he said, I want to be.
When I fought Canelo,
I was 36, and Canelo was 23, around the same age. Some of these guys won world titles and was undisputed champion. I think, the Tank age, the young low champions. Canelo was 23 with 43 fights and 30 knockouts.
When asked if he had matched Mayweather's legacy, Crawford dismissed the comparison outright. Floyd was the greatest of his era, and I'm the greatest of mine. There's no need to compare, he said during the post-fight press conference. Still, the debate reignited just 15 minutes later when Canelo Alvarez, gracious in defeat and full of praise for Crawford, was asked who he considered the better fighter. The question carried extra weight, as Alvarez had suffered his first professional loss back in 2013 to a 36-year-old Mayweather while he was only 23.
Canelo a little worse than that, because that style of fight, I don't think he beats someone like Terence Crawford. But if I'm Terence Crawford, of course I'll fight him again. But this time, I'm the A side. I think Terence Crawford is going to be more confident next time, knowing that I can punch with this guy. I can take his shot. I'm fast.
He fought Canelo Alvarez.
Yeah.
He didn't do what the last two did, just...
Crawford earned full credit for his performance, as Alvarez admitted afterward, I gave it my all tonight, but I couldn't figure out his style. He had everything. I think Crawford is way better than Floyd Mayweather. However, Alvarez's longtime rival and Golden Boy promoter, Oscar de la Hoya, strongly disagreed. I can't agree with that. Floyd Mayweather completely toyed with Canelo, barely got touched, not once. Crawford is more of a fighter boxer, while Floyd was the pure boxer, and in my view, far superior. It's not just because he beat me or because of how close my own fight with him was. Technically, Floyd is simply a better fighter than Crawford.
And who would, because Canelo after the fight said that Crawford was way better than Floyd. You know Crawford, you know Canelo, you know Floyd. What do you think? Who would win in the fight?
My man. I have to disagree, because Floyd Mayweather toyed with Canelo. Like, he literally toyed with him. He didn't get hit at all. Not one time. And
honestly, it's a debate that can't be settled easily. While Mayweather and Crawford's eras at the top overlap slightly, their peaks came at different times. Crawford captured his first world title in 2014, just a year before Mayweather closed out the final title fight of his career ahead of a brief retirement. And then there's Alvarez, whose resume, stacked with high-quality wins, had long cemented him as the ruler of his own era until last weekend's result shifted the conversation once again.
I like Crawford's style of fighting, the way to come after him. Mayweather. Okay, let's do this. Money Mayweather, I think Crawford beats.
Okay. Pretty boy.
Pretty boy. I don't know. I think Pretty boy. It might be Pretty boy. I don't know. That's something, because he's
as remarkable as Crawford's last 3 fights have been over the past 2 years, and as much as they've elevated his legacy, it wasn't until his victory over Errol Spence at age 35 that he truly secured recognition as one of the greatest boxers of this century. Even with Crawford matching Mayweather as a 5-division champion, simply comparing the caliber of opponents on their resumes heavily tilts in Mayweather's favor. Crawford's world title wins over unbeaten fighters like Yuri Ortiz Gamboa, Victor Postal, Jeff Horn, and Israel Madrimov were all respectable, but his truly elite victories are more narrowly defined, centered on Sean Porter, Spence, and now Alvarez.
He's a talented fighter, and that challenge for him pushed him even harder to train harder and to be better. That challenge, going up against Canelo, moving up 2 divisions, hearing that people say, "Oh, he didn't look too good against Madrimov, so how could he look good at 68?" Well, that motivated more, man. He trained hard. He did.